first decks back for the expedition, and it's available exclusively at the Berrics Unified Shop. Bon voyage!
My name is Steve Miller, owner of Exit Skate Shop in Philadelphia, located in Northern Liberties, 825 North 2nd Street. Exit was one of the first skate shops opened in Philadelphia in the late 80s, up in Northeast Philadelphia, which is pretty off the radar when it comes to the skateboarding scene. It was basically started because the owner ran a silkscreen shop. He had a storefront. He thought skateboarding was profitable at that point in time. He had some space to sell stuff. He opened up a shop. I wandered in probably the second week that the shop was open. I was young, I wanted a job, I worked there. The shop developed into a real skate shop, not because of the owner, but because of the people within the walls. There was 5 guys in total that I could say built that skate shop. A couple years later, in comparison to silkscreen business or whatever business he was doing, skateboarding didn't seem profitable enough for him. And he decided he was gonna close it. Well, that was September 2nd. I received a call that the shop was closing. I have no experience in business. At the time I was in college. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew I wanted to keep the shop open. I called a couple of guys, those guys that have always been the family of the shop. I sat down and I talked with the owner. In essence, he told me to pay off one of his credit card bills and I could have the shop. I essentially bought the shop for the price that someone my age bought their first car for. I mean, it took me 1 month to decide that I was going to do what I was going to do the rest of my life, but it made sense. I ran the shop at the former location for about 6 months, and I knew at that point in time that if we were going to survive, we had to move. I didn't necessarily want to, but I knew we had to. So we moved in a breakneck fashion. We were in and out in less than a month into a new store. Ran it there for about 2 years. That entire area that people were banking on, the city thought was going to be the new area. It wasn't the spot yet, it was building, you know. Things hit a brick wall and I had to make a decision. Am I going to be here, be that only shop that's over here and not making money? So I knew I had to move again, and luckily enough we moved into a better shop and we gained 400 square feet extra. We're in a better area. The only reason it happened is because the economy sucks. It's impossible not to look around and see that owning a small business in the US is not easy. If I see a broke-ass kid come to my store, I'm probably gonna give him as many free used boards as I can possibly provide him with, or give him a shop board for 18 bucks. That kid could be the next Chris Cole. That kid could be the next P-Rod. Like, I wanted to see myself as a kid come through my door and treat him the same way I was treated. I wanted to have that kid leave as psyched as I was as a kid. And I remember being like, I was young enough to listen to what my dad had to say. And I remember sitting with him and like him honestly asking me what I wanted to do. I was young enough to be naive enough to say, I wanted to open a skate shop. I wanted to be involved in skateboarding. I'll never be a pro skateboarder, I won't, but I want to be in skateboarding. And I remember saying to him, it was like, I'm okay with struggling as long as I can do what I love to do.